With Thalatha's exit, Sajith messes things up. It's a three-horse race. Ranil wins the day on the 21st. Sajith bags one, but Ranil scores thrice. MPs wanting SJB UNP to ally are encouraged. Gampaha office opening cancelled. Rally draws no crowd. No speech for Rose. Sudarshani is present, but supporters are absent. Standbys ready if Manaparuma and Kavinda leave. Harshana accused over Gampaha chaos. Mahinda goes on Namal's stage. SM and Rohitha taken to task by speakers. Rajapaksa's red flag to those who joined Ranil. Namal, Sajith campaign under a common plan. Damika refuses to fund Namal. Campaigns by Ranil and Sajith stagnate. How does the NPP get its fundings?
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
With Thalatha's exit, Sajith messes things up. There are just 29 days to go when the new president is announced on 22nd September. Predicted to be a three-horse race, its result will be quite crucial for the country. Incumbent Ranil, who counts over 50 years of experience and as the PM under 6 presidents previously, contests on the strength of what he did for the country in the 2 years after Aragalaya. A key challenger is AKD, who held a cabinet position to speak about at most, is without practical experience in governance, but creates a wave of popularity with claims of corruption and fraud-free, promises to punish the swindlers of public money and to bring about a social transformation. The other is Sajith, the son of a late president, the present opposition leader and former cabinet minister. Other than the above trio, Namal and Dilith seem to give it a try as well. By the end of next week, one can have a clear understanding of who leads the contest. Anything could happen in the interim because the trend changes all the time. On 21st, the best achiever was Ranil. That was due to senior SJB figure Thalatha's resignation, not just from the SJB, but from her parliamentary seat as well. As she announced her decision in a speech to the House, SLPP's Karunadasa Kodithuwaku from Matara crossed over to the opposition, extending his support to Sajith. Towards the afternoon, Ranil accepted SJB's Jaffna district organiser Victor Stanley, SLMC's propaganda secretary ULMN Mukin, and Sri Telo leader Parajasingam Udayarasa to his side. Last week, Thalatha saw Ranil at Ruwan Wijewardena's home. Since then, Sajith, Madhuma Bandara, Lucky and Senasinghe had been discussing what to do if she left. Senasinghe said he was certain that Malik was behind her move. Lucky cooled them down by saying that he had blocked up to 5 others who were to switch sides along with her. As soon as she left, former SLFP Education Minister in Sabaragamuwa, Prabhath Bhanu was made Thalatha's successor as the electoral organiser. Anyway, her desertion has given a new lease of life for the SJB MPs who want the SJB to ally with the UNP, and also the seniors who are reluctant to call Sajith as Sir and Jalani as Madam. It is said that several such MPs have now deserted the SJB campaign and work secretly together with Sagala, Ravi K and Wajira. That has worried the minority party leaders who are planning to ally with the SJB-led alliance. Also, the party leadership has now become friendlier towards the MPs, whom it suspects will follow the example set by Thalatha. Thalatha's decision has become a top issue in social media too. Shiral Lakthalaka questions in a Facebook post as to how the country could be entrusted to Sajith if his inner circle member Thalatha calls him to be immature. The day was not good for Sajith. He began yesterday by cancelling the scheduled opening of a district office in Gampaha. In the afternoon, a public rally in Katana was not much of a success either. The SJB office was to be opened at 8:30 in the morning. Sajith was told that electoral organiser Ajith Manaparuma and about 7 other organisers are going to boycott the opening. He immediately instructed the party headquarters to investigate. The district office was to be housed at a building owned by WP Rupasinghe and used by Gota as his presidential campaign office in Gampaha. Electoral organiser Kurupu and MP Harshana had struck a deal with Rupasinghe to rent the building. Manaparuma was told nothing about it, but his supporters tipped him off. and that made him angry. He telephoned a top man at the head office and told him that the person eyeing the district leadership was messing things up since Fonseca left. He also said that he never got accused of anything in his 22 years in politics. He said he didn't oppose it if the leader's office was opened there, but that it was planned without informing him. Amid this confusion, the opening was cancelled. The rally at Katana, organised by Rose Fernando, had not gone well. Sajith berated him about the failure. On Monday, Manaparuma had a meeting with electoral organisers at his home to discuss the election campaign. General Secretary Maduma Bandara, too, attended. He said the leader badly wanted a rally held on Wednesday. The venue proposed was Negombo. Kavinda said the day being a Poya Day, municipal grounds cannot be booked. When Maduma Bandara insisted on it, it was decided to hold the rally at Katunayake in the Katana electorate. Rose was told to organise it together with Sudashani, the ex-SLPP organiser for Katana, who is now with Sajith. Rose is SJB's organiser there. But the meeting disappointed Sajith, who didn't even give a speech for Rose. Also, Manaparuma and several others boycotted it. Kavinda, organiser for Negombo, the electorate nearest to Katana, arrived just moments before it ended. Anyway, Harshana has already suggested 2 names to Sajith to keep as standbys if he thinks it fit to replace Manaparuma and Kavinda. At the meeting, Sajith said supporters would never desert the SJB, irrespective of whoever else leaves. With Manaparuma and Kavinda still in, the rally had no crowds. Does it mean that the supporters have already taken a decision? Sajith should better look into that. Mahinda goes on Namal's stage. Namal held his first campaign rally in Anuradhapura. Joining him on stage, Mahinda rebuked those who deserted the SLPP for Ranil. He said some had crossed over for petty gains, while others were deceived into doing so. When he said that they all will have to return one day, supporters shouted out that none should be accepted back. Mahinda said to thundering applause that if they didn't want them, he didn't want them either. At the meeting, SM and Rohitha were taken to task by the speakers amid big cheer by the crowds. Nothing much was said against Sajith. The meeting was widely covered by social media loyal to Sajith. Some commented that the two could be campaigning as per a common plan. By now, both their common enemy is Ranil, critics say. Damika refuses to fund Namal. Campaigns by both Sajith and Ranil are becoming stagnant. Ranil's soup has too many cooks. Manusha's M2M campaigns together with foreigners on one hand. Harin, Wajira and even Prasanna's daughter Ashana, too, are there on the other. Around 600 social media pages have been arranged at a huge cost, but the message is not relayed properly, it is said, within Ranil's ranks. Some say it is not a campaign for Ranil, but for others to fight over preferential votes. The group called Ranil Focus has been given the job to tell the public that they had played a game to woo Thalatha from the SJB. A team of youth such as Randala, Pasindu and Mahil are in charge. This is the same group that introduced a song by an Aragalaya singer at Ranil's Anuradhapura rally. According to sources, M2M campaigns for the Toyas, whereas the focus group mainly targets the Bayas. Critics say voters are either afraid of saying they will vote for Ranil or are shy to say they will support Ranil. But those with the NPP say it publicly that they vote for AKD. So, the trend seems to be in support of AKD everywhere. The first 2 parties are said to be in a big financial crisis. Advertisements for newspapers and electronic media are on hold. Even those planned are getting cancelled. Advertising companies have been asked to wait until the last 2 weeks. Even Namal is without funds to spend. With Damika refusing to contribute, he says he will visit religious places, receive blessings, and give voice cuts in the meantime. With AKD's campaign in full swing, those with Ranil and Sajith say dragons from Beijing must be pumping money for him. But AKD says their spendings are not that big. Our comrades work voluntarily, not for money. They do everything from pasting posters to erecting stages. We manage with 1,000 rupees what other parties do with 100,000 rupees, says AKD. But everything is done by showing big crowds. It's exaggeration to influence voters. AKD is quite adept at that. Sajith is not far behind either. What Ranil plans to do is to woo some politicians to his side and claim he will win. In the meantime, Lucky does not just look on. He eyes several SLPP MPs from Colombo and another from Puttalam. Chakusum, Asanka Sayakara, scriptwriter, says in a Facebook post that AKD's campaign has seen a strategic change. Instead of appealing for power, he seeks a strong mandate to take strong decisions. In other words, he is certain of victory, but wants it to be a big win. It is noteworthy that since the nomination day, the NPP has taken a winning attitude, from the candidate to the supporter who goes canvassing. That same winning attitude weakens, as well as angers the rivals. That flows from the top to the bottom. Sajith and Ranil rage on stage, and their campaigners do likewise. Their advertising bigwigs share similar posts. In a fight, making the rivals rage and rant is really tactical, to ensure that they are wiped out in the end, adds Sayakara. Anyway, Sajith and Ranil have not been campaigning for very long. AKD started his campaign more than 2 years ago, during Aragalaya. Both camps say a lot of things can be seen in a week or two. The 3 key contenders play every trick in the book and much more. They are lining up their trump cards. Once they fall in line, the playing ground changes. For everything on that and much more, keep tuned in for The Leader. That's it for today.
The Leader දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම